Boom, I think I'm live. How you doing, everybody? Bullseye Bob here, and welcome to Everything Comics, and welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. That's right, I got some couple of CGC submissions, and I have an AOK that I'm gonna unbox. And but here we are, live and in living color from the Bob Cave, and it's Monday, September 14th, and man. Lots been going on this week. So just really quick, haven't got very many people in the chat yet. It looks like we got Derek Magnus. How you doing there, brother? And Nick, how you doing there, Nick? Good to see you. Man, it's just been an absolute crazy week. I've had a number of people reach out and ask how we're doing here in Oregon, and I'll just say that we were kind of expecting the air quality to clear up a little bit today, and but that didn't quite happen, not the way I think they were projecting that it would happen. And so the air quality is still pretty bad. I've pretty much stayed indoors most of the day today, and but we're staying safe. You know, the fires are still raging. We're hoping for some rain this week to help the fire department and quell what's going on out there, but it's still pretty bad. No immediate danger or anything like that now, not like we had last week. But man, it's just been crazy, absolutely crazy. We have a few more people that have popped up in the chat. We got Ruben Guzman, how you doing there? And then we have let's see, David E68, how you doing there, brother? And we have Ace Bonnie. Says, Bob, how are you? I am doing fabulous. Pretty much relaxed today. I didn't work today. Be working tomorrow. We got Sam Fett. Haven't seen you for a while, brother. How you doing? We got Michael Gallant. Thanks for joining the chat, brother. And then we have Josh Gilfillan. I think that's how you say his name. But hey, I'm glad you showed up, even for just a little while. Thank you very much for joining up. And then Derek Magnus, starting to get smoke out there too. You're in North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, I forget. Sioux Falls, North Dakota. There we go. And so you're starting to get smoke out there too. Wow, you're a long way off. Two Gun Pedro, pew pew. How you doing there, brother? Yeah, I don't think that we can get away from how much smoke is going to affect a lot of people in a lot of different places. I know that the wind was kind of taking everything out to the ocean, which was bringing it completely into our area. Well, we had fires in our area, but then what ended up happening is now the winds are starting to shift, and it's starting to put it, towards everybody else in the country. And I mean, it's terrible. The air quality is terrible. The visibility is terrible. And there we go. South Dakota. There you go. Sorry, brother. I knew you were out there in the middle of the country somewhere. But it's just, it blows me away that you're getting smoke out there too. So hope everybody is doing well. Let's see. Ace Bonnie says, Bob, I think you're the only one that pronounce. I don't know what that means, brother. Pronounce. Anyway, but yeah, it's been surreal. I mean, 2020 is, I'm getting tired of people saying, that things are unprecedented. Like I said in my video on Saturday. Maybe this is just a new norm. I don't know, but I don't like it. I hope things start to turn around soon. I mean, I can't take it. Ace Bonnie says, Bob, I think you're the only one that can pronounce my last name right for the first time. Yes. All right. Now I understand what you're trying to say. And happy to do it. Yeah. Champion. We got Hero and the Kid in the chat. He says, hey, Bob, it's Will, crushing weights and listening to the best member of the Portland comic crew. Why, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. And be careful on those weights while you're listening. Make sure you practice being safe, and way to crush those weights, my friend. So I'm not going to be on for a long time. I have a couple of things that have come in, and I figured I'd do an unboxing. Some of these I'm pretty excited about, and I'll let you know why I say that in just a second. But the first thing I got was an AOK that came in from Bruce Johannes. I think that's how you say his last name. If I butchered your last name, brother, do apologize. And he sent this off, and I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see what's inside. Let's see. We got number one drama queen says, "Love seeing you. Love seeing you, love." Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you joined up. And oh man, look at that, Bueller. Thank you very much, brother. I just got my first super chat, y'all. I have now been monetized, and Bueller just came in, and he drew first blood, and he's giving me my first super chat, man. That just blesses my heart. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for supporting me on all I do, man. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. But, man, first super chat. That's awesome. Woo! There you go. Ace Bonnie says he'll buy that for $1. But here we go. And, man, he just gave me another one. Man, I'm on a roll. Thanks, dude. That's pretty awesome stuff. Man, so here we go. This was sent in by Bruce Johannes, and he is a friend of the channel. He's a fellow Dallas Cowboy fan, fellow comic book nerd, and he sent this over to Bueller. I really appreciate you, brother. And Derek Magnus just gave me another super chat. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm like, I don't know if anybody will ever throw a super chat, and but man, it just happened. Pretty cool. Thank you guys. Woo! You have no idea how much that blesses my heart. Thank you so much. So here we go. We got these that came in from Bruce, and I'll just pull them up here one by one. And let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Two Gun says, "You officially made more money on super chats than the BS show." That's funny. All right. So, wow. This is one I don't have in my collection. This is Captain America and the Invaders #1. Pretty cool. Wow. All right. He sent me a Daredevil #1. And this is one of the very few issues or copies of #1 that I don't have. This is one of the few variants that I don't have. I pretty much have most of them. I don't know how he figured out that I needed this one, but man, that is awesome. You guys know me, man. I love my Daredevil. And this is pretty cool. This is Captain America #600. Look at that Alex Ross cover. Very nice. And this is really cool, man. Thank you, Bruce. Let's see. This one is Captain America. Looks like a celebrating 75 years of Cap. I don't know if it's an issue number, if this was a standalone, but very cool. Got some Cap and Bucky action there, and a U.S. agent all on the cover. Pretty cool. And some Falcon. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have these, but I had them earmarked to get signed by Joe Quesada, and this is the Daredevil Father miniseries. If you guys, let me put that. There we go. If you guys know anything about this series, it really sings to my heart. This was written by Joe Quesada right after his father died, and so he took and wrote about Matt's relationship with his father. And when you have the context of how that was written, it becomes a really touching story. And I have a set of these that are earmarked for Joe Quesada to sign. And so now these will go into the personal collection as my readers. So thank you very much, Bruce. There's issue 1 and 2. And there's issue number 3, and then 4. Very cool. And then we got issue number 5 and issue number 6. Very cool, man. Thank you so much, Bruce. Really appreciate that. You know, I'm still blown away when it comes to the whole AOK thing. I think it's amazingly generous and kind of people. One of my first AOKs came from Two Gun Pedro, and I was really touched by it. And when I see it happen on other people's channels, you know, I hope nobody takes it for granted, because I think it's a pretty amazing thing that somebody will send something to you from across the country, you know, who only knows you from your interaction in the chat or the channels. And I think it's one of the things that makes the comic book community just absolutely amazing. So appreciate you guys. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We got here on the kid says, "Hey Bueller, what's up?" Bueller says, "Will, don't you have homework to do?" And that's right. Happy birthday, Will. It's always Will's birthday. It's always Will's and Sam's birthday. Let's see. Will said Bob is better than you, Bueller, earlier. Man, way to throw him under the bus. Ace Bunny says Bueller have not email Will his homework back to you. That did it for him. Say, "Hey, buddy. No, not today. I shouted you out on our channel, and I'm here at the gym crushing weights." Man, you crush them weights, bro. I saw that, Derek. I like his brother Ben better. There's a shout out for Ben. There we go. Two Gun, you're deserving, Bob. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, I don't think, you know, I feel like I deserve anything, but, you know, obviously, you know, people, you know, want to give, and they want to bless people. And so never feel like I deserve, but I'm sure I'm thankful. And to me, it's just an amazing thing. I love people with giving hearts. I think it's one of those things that I think people should do more of, whether that be giving of your time, giving of your resources, helping people out, or just plain out, just blessing somebody the way people do with the AOKs. I mean, I think it's awesome. It's one of those things that makes the world a better place. Let's see. Will says, "If it makes you feel better, I ate lunch all by myself. Nobody wanted to sit next to me." Well, that's because you haven't taken a shower in 4 days, dude. Crunching all them weights, going to the gym, man. You need to take a shower, bro. Will you lift those weights so I don't have to? Thanks, buddy. There you go. So, but there you have it. That was an AOK from Bruce. And again, Bruce, thank you very much. And I think it's just thank you. I mean, I barely know you, brother. And you know, I don't post my address on my channel, so there's a few people who have sent stuff to Bueller to give to me, which I think is even more amazing. So, but thank you guys. All right, so I'm going to get on to the first CGC unboxing here, and I got some CGC books that came in, and let's just see here. All right. Let me just get some of this paperwork out of here. So here's one of those things. So this is a certificate of authenticity that kind of shows when it's a numbered, you know, like limited edition. This was for the Wonder Woman number 750, done by Shannon Maer. There were only 750 of those created, and this is a certificate of authenticity. Mine was number 468 of 750, and so basically, these do not get encapsulated inside of the slabs. I didn't know that before. I do know it now because I've received a number of these back. And they'll even send you a note saying don't send these. And but they do send them back. But anyway, just word of advice if you're sending in a CGC submission and you're wondering if the certificate of authenticity or the certificate that shows, what number your particular copy is in a run, you don't need to send it to CGC. They'll just send it right back to you. They don't put it in with the slab. So there you go. All right, so here we go. All right, so here's my first book. And these are my Shannon Maer books. So I'm really, really excited about these. So here we go. This is Venom number 25. And as you can see, it's been both signed by Shannon Maer and it's been signed by Mark Bagley. So pretty cool. And Whammo 9.8. Very, very happy about that. I think the glare is going to be my worst enemy inside of this one. There we go. So Venom 25, 9.8, signed by two great, Shannon Maer, who did the cover, and then Mark Bagley, who did the interior artwork. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get this recracked and signed by Donnie Cates. I'd love that. But there you go. So I just want to mention that the reason why I said earlier that I'm excited about some of these is because these particular books that I sent in, I had pressed, and I had pressed by a company that I've used in the past, and they do a great job. And on one of my, on the other submission, besides this box, I used CGC's pressing service for the first time. And after I'd sent it in, I was informed by a bunch of people that I should not have done that. Now, I had never heard that CGC's pressing, that part of their company, there was any problem with it. But obviously, I'm hearing otherwise, that they're not shady. They just don't do as good a job as they should. And so I think on my other submission, because I've already seen what the grades are on those, I think I've fallen victim to that very thing. So I'll show you that in just a second. But this one was definitely pressed by the company that I normally use. Perfect 9.8, and very happy about that. All right, on to the next one. I just see my good buddy Gore Vidal's in here, and he's here for the Electra unboxing. You guys, we have a long-running joke between me and Gore about Electra, and he's an awesome dude and a friend of the channel. And thank you very much for showing up there, Gore. All right. So this next one, and I just love this, and this one is also a 9.8, and that is the Ghost Spider number 1, and there it is, signed by Shannon Maer. It's one of my favorite covers he's ever done. There we go. That's just awesome. He signed it in pink, which I thought was really cool. It kind of matches the color schemes that's going on in the picture. And I just love Shannon Maer's artwork. And so here's another. This one was also pressed by that company that I normally use. Very cool. We got RavenFan75 in the chat. He says, "Hey, you doing?" He called me Comic Bob. All right. Okay, and this next one is probably my favorite Shannon Maer cover of all time. I think this cover is absolutely amazing. And this one I didn't have pressed because it's cardstock, but it's Catwoman. What was it? Catwoman, the 80th anniversary 100-page, super spectacular. And the one thing that I've always loved about this particular cover is not only the warm color scheme that he has here, but in her shoulder here, I don't know if you can see it, is the reflection of Batman. I don't know if you can see it there with the glare, but in her shoulder, you see the reflection of Batman there. And I just think this is a phenomenal cover. And this is one that I definitely wanted to get signed by him. He signed it in gold, which is really cool. But there you have it. All right. Moving into the last one inside of this one, and you pretty much know what this one is because I've already showed you that certificate of authenticity. And this is the Wonder Woman 750, signed by Shannon Maer. I just love this cover. He said he is such a great artist. And it was so cool getting a chance to be able to chat with him on Bueller's channel when Bueller had him on for the interview, and just to talk to him even for a few minutes. And so there you have it. Those are my 4 books that I submitted for CGC, signed by Shannon Maer, and very, very happy with those. And so let me put these over here so that they don't get damaged. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So very cool. So let's see. We got Gore says, beautiful Catwoman book. I've never seen that before. Yeah, that was one that I immediately ordered when it became available, when they had the Catwoman 80th anniversary. There were so many covers for that Catwoman anniversary issue. I mean, that's one of the things that DC continues to do. I mean, if you look at the Detective Comics 1027 that's coming up, I think Bueller counted something like over 50 variant covers, which is just crazy. By the way, guys, if Two Gun says he likes the Shannon Maer covers, I do too. By the way, you guys, if you haven't gone and checked out the brand new coffee show video from this morning, Bueller and I had an amazing discussion on variants. We really cover a lot of ground on it. Even though it's a subject that we covered before, we had an amazing conversation. I had so much fun just filming that video with him. But we really do cover a lot of ground. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely go. It's already up, and check that out. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. And but it was really, really a great time. So here we go. This is the last part of the unboxing, and this one is, I'm going to tell you right now, there's some things in here I'm already disappointed with on a couple of different levels, and this is one where I've already seen. I haven't seen all the grades, but I've seen a couple of them because I wanted to check after I found out from people that I shouldn't use CGC's pressing service. And so let's just go ahead and get into those. And just the old paperwork. All right, so there are a couple of books in here that should have been no-brainer as far as them being 9.8s. I'm a pretty fair study on grading, and that's one of the things that if you're going to be a collector, and especially if you're going to be a collector that gets books graded, or if you're going to be selling, or just for your own collecting so that you don't pay too much for a book, you should start to become somewhat of an expert on grading. Just an example, if you don't have this book, this is a great book to get, a guide to grading comics, put out by the Overstreet Price Guide, and this is a really, really good book. It gives you a lot of examples, a lot of visual examples on what to look for in grading. And this book is invaluable. And so I'm a pretty fair judge when it comes to getting things graded. And I know that on a few of these books, it should have been a no-brainer with even a minor pressing, that they should have come back a 9.8. And so here's the first one. And I mean, I'm going to re-look at this after we're done with the show, but this should have come back a 9.8. This is The Flash, the variant edition by Art Germ. That is my favorite flash cover of all time. As you can see, it did come back in 9.6. So I definitely will re-look at it again, but I'm pretty darn sure that that was 9.8 candidate all the way, even with the minor pressing. And if some of you, if you've never submitted books to CGC before, even ones that you grab off of the newsstand that don't have any flaw in it, sometimes just the cover itself has a slight stippling on it, and that comes from the grain of the paper. They'll mark you down to 9.6 for that. So always get your books pressed. And you know, when it comes to grading, I'm not a snob. I don't have to have everything 9.8. But when there's books that should come back in 9.8, then that's what I'm looking for. Some of my older books, I mean, I don't care what they come back for. They're my books. Like my Daredevil 131 first appearance of Bullseye. I don't have to have a 9.8 in that. I got my 7.0. That's my copy. It's been signed by Klaus Janson. I'm going to get it signed by Marv Wolfman and John Romita. But that's my copy, and I'm proud of it. I love it. But there are certain books that I do submit, and I am looking for that 9.8 because I'm either going to sell it or it should be a no-brainer that it should come back a 9.8. And so that's one that I definitely would have expected to come back that way. And Ace Bonnie says, "Why is it a 9.6?" I don't know yet. I'm gonna take a look, you know, after the show and give it another glance. But you know, a lot of times, like that particular one, there were parts on the spine that were creases but not color breaking and should have come out with a pressing. And I can see right here is that same little crease. I don't know if you won't be able to see it with the glare, but that should have been pressed out. I mean, this is an easy no-brainer press, and it looks like they didn't even touch it at all. And so I know I did press for Fast Track, and but it did go to their pressing service, and that should have been pressed out. So I will be having this sent to my guy, and I'll have him press it, and then I'll resubmit it. Maybe I'll even resubmit it to CBSC. I know Bueller just got a new partnership with them, and maybe this would be a good time for me to maybe do a test. And so, but I mean, you know, look, that's a great cover. I just know that should have come back at a 9.8, and that's what I'm going for. I think this one here is the one that made me the most upset. Two Gun Pedro, he sent me that wonderful AOK, and I was blown away by some of the stuff that he sent me. And this book, I was especially blown away by. And here's the deal, guys. I sent in on my submission notes on this one that this was an error. This was an error print. This is Daredevil number 12 from the latest run by Chip Zdarsky. And as you can see, it's a 9.0. And I kind of expected the 9.0 to come back because on the top back cover, there was a little bit of a crease. There was a little bit color breaking, so I knew it was going to come back as a lower grade. But here's the thing. Whenever these error prints come up, so in this particular book, this goes, the cover, it goes pages 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it starts over again and has the variant Mary Jane variant cover for this particular issue, and then it starts the whole numbering run of pages over again. And usually when they have multiple covers, they'll grade the inside cover or the one that is got the highest grade. And so that cover on the inside should have been graded. There's nothing on here to indicate that they even saw my note. They're not even mentioning that it's an error print. I'm pretty upset about that because they just went ahead and didn't even acknowledge what this book is. And so I'm going to be writing them. I'm going to be writing them an email and getting on the phone with them because this is messed up. They should have acknowledged what this book is. They should have graded it, not on the outside cover, but the inside one, because I know that is the better cover, and that's their policy. And they didn't even acknowledge that this is an error print, which that upsets me. So Two Gun, again, thank you very much. I still love this. This is not going anywhere. This is going to be in my personal collection, but I would like it acknowledged as an error print. Before we go on, let me just see a couple things here. Bueller says 9.6, boo. Bueller and I talked about the difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 on some of these unboxing videos, and he kills me. I was cracking up so hard. Derek Magnus says, for $175, you can buy a good press and practice on readers and do it yourself. You know, I've thought about doing that, Derek, and I may still end up going that way. I know I had talked to a couple people out here about that, and it's possible maybe, you know, I can go in on that with somebody. But it just, you know, one of those things that, you know, I don't, no matter what submission you're sending in, you should have your books pressed. And that may be the way that I end up going, is finally getting my own press. Two Gun says, should have been higher than 9.0. I agree. Like I said, that one piece on the back cover I knew was going to make it a lower grade. I didn't think it would be that far down. I did send this to be pressed as well. And so, yeah, you know, I'm going to email them, Two Gun, but it needs to be at least acknowledged that that's an error print. And yeah, I'm pretty upset about that one. Let's see. Raven Fan says, just blame it on Bueller. I blame everything on Bueller, man. He's a scapegoat for everything. Bueller, 9.8. Oh, yeah, baby, just right. Ah. Yeah, there he goes. That's the joke. Because that's what usually you get people doing when they get a 9.8. And then when they get a 9.6, it's just like, oh. It's too funny. D-Mets, first live show. Love your weekly shows. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, D-Mets. Thank you for tuning in. You leave comments pretty often, and I appreciate you, brother. So thank you very much. And glad you made it. You got Stay Puff. How you doing there, Stay Puff? Hey, man, I'm halfway through watching your show from the weekend. That's some great stuff, and I can't wait to finish it. It's good stuff. And then Bruce shows up. Bruce, I unboxed your AOK, man. Thank you very much. That was some pretty cool stuff. You gave me some stuff that I didn't have, especially that Daredevil #1 cover. I didn't have that in my collection. I have every single one of those Daredevil #1 variants. And you happened to buy one that I actually didn't have, which was pretty cool. So thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. And then let's see. Yep, you did. So so you have to check out the replay so you can see me unboxing it. But it was a really cool AOK, and I just want to say thank you very much, man. That was really cool and very thoughtful of you to do, and appreciate you, man. Okay, so I got 3 more books here that I'm going to show in this unboxing. Now, this one was the only one that I was on the fence with, and it's very hard to get this particular book in a high grade because almost every single one was damaged in shipping when it first came out. And I am talking about Canto #1. And I knew that the crease that happens about right here on the cover, it wasn't as bad as I've seen on other books. And I knew I could get that pressed out. So it looks like they did give it a pressing because it does look better than when I first sent it in. But I was worried about, there was some stippling on the back cover that I couldn't tell if it was from the printing process or what. I don't know if you can see it on there, but you probably can't. But it's just little tiny dots on the black. And but I mean, if even so, at a 9.6, I'm happy with that. Only because of the fact that it's very hard to get this book in high grade. You guys know Canto is now on my list of some of the top reads of comics I've ever read. I love this series. I think it's phenomenal. It really resonates on a heart level. I really wanted a 9.8 in this. I thought I had a good candidate for it, but I don't know. I'm going to look at it a little bit further, see if maybe I want to resubmit it, but I don't know. I may not be able to get higher than that. Very cool. All right. Okay, so here's one that should have been a no-brainer. This was brand new. There shouldn't have been any flaw in this. And what I'm talking about is Star Wars Adventures, The Clone Wars, #1. This is the only Peach Momoko cover I will have in my collection because it was the only one that I thought was really cool. And I immediately went out and got it as soon as it was advertised. And it's the Yoda cover. Oops. There it is. And it's a 9.6. Again, I truly believe this should have been a no-brainer, 9.8. But I'm going to go ahead and look at it. Yeah, I mean, I can see right here on the cover, there's this slight non-color breaking. You can see where another book was underneath it, and there's a slight wave. They didn't even press this. That's what it is. They didn't even touch this for pressing. And so that makes me mad. I want my money back. Right? That should have been an easy press to get that little tiny wave out, non-color breaking. And man, you know, I don't want to say they have bad practices. I think what they probably have is way too many submissions for pressing, which takes a long time, and they're cutting corners. That's what my belief is. But there we go. I don't think it's a lesson learned. I'm not going to use their pressing service anymore. I will send it out to my guy, or maybe I'll do what Derek Magnus said, and I'll get my own press. But this one should have been a no-brainer, 9.8. And this one is actually really rose in price, which I'm really glad of. I think I bought it originally for $50 from Golden Apple, and 9.8s are going for like $400 right now. So. But this is one that I'm definitely going to have broken back open and pressed and resubmitted. But I'm not going to use CGC's pressing service. So that's too bad. And before we get on to the last one, let's just see if anybody says anything else here. Let's see. Nick says, Kanto, I love that series. GG on the 9.6. Thank you, brother. DMet said, watch your coffee and comic show this morning. Variance out of control. I'm with Bueller. Won't grade anything. Won't pay someone else to put a value on my stuff. If you do, hope it makes you happy. Appreciate that, man. Everybody has their own opinion, and I can completely respect that. I don't grade everything, but there are certain books that I do like to get graded. Raven Fan said, very nice. Thank you, brother. Brother Nova, he says, man, CGC being stingy. You just can't seem to win, Bob. I know. But you know, I'm dialing it in, brother. There you have it. DMet says those are some nice graded books, though. Appreciate that. And then Bueller says, is it just me, or does that Yoda kind of look like Bob? Thanks, man. Are you talking about green and fuzzy? I don't know. What are you trying to say? Josh says, I think you're right, Bueller. Just give it a bullseye hat and a goatee. That's too funny. Okay, you guys, you can stop talking about that. All right. So here's the last book. And some of you guys know I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I love all of the Japanese kaiju shows. You know, when I was growing up, there was nothing like it on American television. So I grew up with Johnny Sacco and his flying robot, and Ultraman, and Ultra 7, and Kamen Rider, and Kakitsu Lion Maru. I used to love shows. So when Power Rangers came out, and came out when my kids were little, it just was really cool to see the next generation picking up on things that I loved from when I was a kid. So I'm a closet Power Rangers fan. I really love what they've been doing over at Boom Studios with the Power Ranger stuff. I do think they're really awesome stories. If you guys haven't checked them out, you should. But this one was for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 50. I love the Dragon Zord and the Green Ranger. And this was a cover done by Clayton Crane. And there was only 300 copies of this made. That's one of the reasons why I got it as well. And I just love that cover. I think Clayton Crane does amazing work. But there you have it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 50. And Dragon Zord in all its glory. And pretty cool. 9.8. All right. So there you have it. There's my books. You know, I mean, I love the AOK. I loved the Shannon Maer books, but the submissions on that last one, I got some things that I'm definitely questioning. Very upset about that Daredevil book. They should have at least acknowledged the notes that it is an error print and graded it as such, but they did not. And so I'm going to ask for my money back and make sure that somebody's holding them accountable. So there you have it. Anything more in the chat here? Let's see. Ace says, I'm going to start Canto. Yeah, Ace, you should. Canto is incredible. It's buy the trade. You know, the trade is out, which collects the first 6 issues. And it's an amazing story. And then they came out with a one-shot last month, Canto and the Clockwork Fairies, which was amazing. And then issue number 1 of Canto 2 just came out 2 weeks ago. And so you should be able to still get a copy of that. Very easily accessible, and you can't go wrong with it. It's an amazing story. I love it, and it's definitely part of my personal collection that I just love. Bruce said, okay, went back and watched the unboxing. Had a feeling you at least read the Father miniseries. Yeah, you know, the Father miniseries resonated with me very much, especially when I learned that Joe Quesada wrote that in the wake of his own father's death. I think on an emotional level, it resonates even more. And so I absolutely love that story. I do have one book, I think it's number 5, that has been signed by Joe Quesada, but I want that whole set signed by Joe Quesada, and I have my copy set aside for that. And so these ones will go in my personal collection, and those will be for my reading pleasure. Thank you so much, brother. It's an awesome. If you guys haven't read the Father miniseries, it's a pretty cool read. So, well, there you have it, folks. That's my unboxing. I love doing these unboxings. I love getting stuff in. I was supposed to have a package that had come in from the boy who had 7. I won. He had done a giveaway for his 100 9.8 CGC slabs that he did, his countdown on that. And so I came in 2nd place and won a pretty cool book. And then I had bought some stuff from him in auction. And so I was planning on unboxing that tonight, but because of the fires, it's been delayed. So I haven't received it yet. But hey, stand in, Bruce. I got your AOK and was able to show that on the channel. And so again, thank you very much. But hey, you guys, thank you very much for popping in and watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And hey, a lot of great stuff coming up. I can't wait. Our battle draft, I'm still putting out getting the details together on that. So stay tuned for that coming up. And of course, I'll be back in the refuge this Saturday morning. I may have a guest with me this Saturday morning. We'll see what happens, but definitely tune in. And then, of course, check out next week's Coffee and Comic Show on the Comics with Bueller channel. We always have a great time, and you guys know we always get in the in-depth discussions. But that's it. You guys go enjoy your Monday Night Football. Appreciate y'all. Remember to support your local comic shop, and Excelsior, guys. Y'all take care.